Hello, everyone. I am so pleased tonight to be with you. Tonight is amazing. Someone who I just adore is coming on board. She is amazing. She's beautiful. She's tall. She's a global citizen. And most of all, she's Taylor's mommy. Let's see if that's her ringing the doorbell. Queenly. She's noble. She is God's chosen. There she is.
Hey!
No one other than the great songstress herself, Yolanda Adams. I'm getting goosebumps. Girl, how
You
you
are
doing?
hilarious. Hey, April.
You know I love you. I
Yes.
adore you. This
Yes,
is
and I adore you too. I think you're one of the smartest women in the entire world.
no.
You and I have covered a lot of things together, and I am always just in awe of the depth of knowledge that you have about things. And people, they wouldn't know that we're both journalists because,
Mhm.
I'm on the gospel spectrum, so they
Oh
don't
yeah.
think that they're journalists on the gospel spectrum.
But let me say
But
this to
to
you, and
see how you hang in
this is
there.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, what I'm
You
saying
were
is
talking.
to see how you hang in. Yeah, I know. It's going to be so exciting tonight to see how you hang in tough times, and you hold your ground, you stand your ground. I am just so proud of you. So big ups to you. You
Oh,
guys are
sis.
going to
Let
have
me
so much fun tonight.
we are going to have an amazing time with the great Yolanda Adams. And I want to say something. So during the Obama years, I driving to work, I think I told you this. I used to always listen to you in your radio show. And not only were you a spiritual guide and you were uh, introing music, but you imparted wisdom. And the crazy thing about it, people at the White House were like, Yolanda not only gets it, but she's disseminating. They were like, oh my God, you want to go to? I was like, Yolanda. They loved you. And I heard that from so many people. They were like, Yolanda can break it down. And that's what I love. I said, you know what? I said, this sister's got it. And you understood your calling. It was about helping the saints understand ACA or the issue at hand, police involved shootings. You were there. I mean, that's what I love about people when people really take their unique perch to help others, and that's what you
Yes.
do. So
Well, I
I'm gonna
mean,
say,
hey, you know how it is. You have the same calling on your life. It's in a different area though. And so, when we're given these platforms,
mm-hmm,
you and I were talking and you're writing another book. It is imperative that we give the right information to our people so that they
yeah,
don't and that means to people in general. Our people are people who love us, who
yeah,
love truth,
mm-hmm,
and to give it to them in such a way that not only do they understand, but they get proactive in their own
mm-hmm.
lives.
That's right. So, guys, I need you to sit back for this hour. We have got our friend Yolanda Adams here. Your sorors are losing their mind. They're like, "Hey, soror." Yolanda's AKA I'm Delta, but
Yes.
it's all right because we got nothing
Hey,
but love for each other.
Divine Nine. Look, Divine Nine.
That's
And
right. We're part.
my best friend who is a state senator in Georgia, she's a Delta as well. So it's always been love in the house. My mom was a Delta.
What? How did that? Ooh, but your daughter Taylor is AKA. Okay.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Now we're gonna find out a little bit more about that. But guys, I want you to sit back. I want you guys to tell a friend, dial in. We've got the great Yolanda. Your dad was what? What was he? What did you say,
An
Yolanda? What your dad
alpha.
was?
My dad was an alpha.
Oh, an alpha, the first. Okay. Dr. King was an alpha. I know a
Yes.
lot of alphas to include Roland Martin. Ooh, Lord. Anyway, Roland. Oh, so tell everyone, get all the saints and even the ain'ts, because we're going to have church up in here. We're going to have
Yes.
a good time. We're going to talk about the moment that we're in. And Yolanda
Yes.
and I were talking earlier. We're in this moment, but God.
Yes.
But
Yes.
God.
I
But
mean,
God.
and that's always it. Wherever you are in your life, you always need to understand that there is a but God moment that
Yeah.
happens every day you wake up.
And we are here. and
Mhm.
we are making it through whatever this is. And we're going to have about 2 years, Yolanda, at least,
Oh yeah.
because this is going to be ebb and flow. I mean, yes, some things are opening, but we have to use our common sense. And Yolanda, this is the crazy thing. People are like, oh, I want to get out. But you've got to take small steps with this, because we are waiting for the vaccine. It's going to take about a year and a half to 2 years, the
Mhm.
mass production of the vaccine, and then the immunization globally, not just here in the States,
All
but
right.
globally, for us to breathe. So
Mhm.
in the midst of it all,
Come on
that's,
now.
in the midst of it all, we have to say, but God. And what
Mhm.
has been your but God moment in the midst of this?
Well, you and I are what they call essential personnel because we have the information that needs to get out to the public.
Mm-hmm.
So every morning at 3:30, I wake up, I do my meditation and my prayer, and I go to the studio to do the broadcast where Marcus and I are still, doing the Yolanda Adams morning show, because now more than ever, people need the
Mm-hmm.
right information.
Most definitely. Most
And
definitely.
so, my but God moments are those times when we open the phone lines and people are like, well, how do I navigate my life now? How do I make it through this now? And I tell them all the time, hey, I don't have all of the answers, but the one answer that I can give you is that if you are breathing, if you woke up
Mm,
this morning, you still have purpose on this earth. You have something to find out about yourself first. Don't try to
mm.
find out about anybody else, because we are really only responsible for us.
That's right.
And all we can do is live in front of people and hope that they get the message. So every morning my but God moments are like, wow, the economy is tanking, but God.
Right.
We can't go to but God. Thank God I do know how to cook, but God. So Amazon is still delivering, but God.
Yeah. How about that? How about that? How about that?
Yes.
So, and I want you to know you have a little bit of an issue with your internet. So find a good spot in there, because it's recycling. But I want to give you a surprise. One of our dear friends happens to be on, Valerie Jarrett. She said, yes, Valerie Jarrett is on. She said, love you both. We love you, Valerie.
Oh, love you so much.
Valerie is on. Let me tell you something. And she is amazing. And
Oh yeah.
she was on, as you know, a couple of days ago, Thursday, when we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about the Lysol stuff. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. I know. I mean, and she just texted me. She can't just go on, and she said, "Love Yolanda." So she is on.
Oh.
She's on IG and text me. We know, VJ, we know. But we love you back, and we thank you so much for the love and the support. And see, didn't I tell you? I
Yes.
told you they loved you in that administration, because in the Obama administration,
Yes.
because you were able to get it. There were very few people who understood the severity of what was going on in the moment. And
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about ACA at
Yes.
that time. This is
Mm-hmm.
nothing but ACA revisited. The underserved now hit yet again,
Mm-hmm.
with the disparities in health with coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have a vital role, and I'm so thankful that you understand that. And give us some of the anecdotes that you're hearing from people from your show. What are people saying? What are they fearful of? What are they thankful for? What are you hearing?
Well, a lot of them are fearful that they don't know where this silent, invisible giant is. So think about this huge, gigantic, global, multicultural, multiracial virus is hitting everybody. It's not just hitting a certain culture. It's not just hitting this. It's not just hitting that. Unfortunately, as you said, the numbers for our community and our culture are just they're astronomical.
Mm,
So that is one of the things that is, more prevalent to my listeners. It's like,
mm,
how do we fight what we can't see?
mm,
How do we arm ourselves against something that could be I mean, it could be anyone. It could, now they're saying it could be the dog or the cat. It's like, come on, where is this coming from?
Right. And the
So
question is
now,
now, yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
The question is now, did it start in a lab, or did it start in the lab, or did it start in the market? So the question is, either way, we still have to figure out how to protect ourselves. And the best
Exactly.
way is to wear a mask. Yolanda, I went to the daggone Home Depot the other day. Somebody, three people were wearing, it said, no mask, no entry, but people were like this with their mask. I was like, and I left.
This is most important.
Right.
Because you're breathing a breath.
I'm like, that is the craziest. So in the midst of it all, that's one of my favorite songs. In the midst, I keep playing on words. If you don't know who I'm talking to one of the greatest gospel artists there is.
Thank you.
Radio host, actress, producer, mom, global citizen, as she calls it, mom of Taylor.
Yes.
Some of the songs, if you don't know, in the midst of it all, if you have never heard that song, not just listen to it, watch the video. Girl, you get it. Every time I'm like, oh my, I get happy just watching you. But the words are so true. Victory. And I'm calling out the stuff that I love. Even me. Whew.
Yes.
The battle is not yours.
Yeah.
It's the Lord's.
Yes.
So many, Open My Heart. So many albums and songs, and something, I wish that I could find the album. If it is, you point me in the direction.
Okay.
You sang If God Was One of Us for Tyler Perry.
I did.
And when it's in the movie, I start getting happy because I want to hear the rest of it. And I'm like, point me in the direction where that whole song is, because you tear that thing up.
Well, Cheryl Pepsi Riley does it in the movie, and then I do it on the soundtrack. So it was one of those early Madea movies. So,
I've heard you. It's the one with you on it.
Yes.
If God Was One of Us, and you tear it up on the soundtrack. So I guess they remixed it for the movie. And you also, I recently saw you at Tyler Perry's studio opening, and you sang In the Midst of It All.
Yes.
And you also just did something so beautiful. John Murray, our dear friend John Murray.
Hey, John.
Well, he's actually on with Sybil right now, talking about what you did, and about 20 or so others. You did a remix of That's What Friends Are For this moment in time.
Yeah.
And you sang it. As soon as you came on, I just smiled. And if you have not seen this, guys, go on my IG page. It's the most masterful and most beautiful rendition of this song for this moment in time. So as we are in this moment, what is bringing you joy? What is bringing you joy?
Well, like I say, Taylor's mom, just being a mom, brings
and
me
she's
joy.
Home from college, nesting with you.
Home from college. Girl, let me tell you a quick story. She was like, oh, Mom, I could come home. I talked to her, I think it was Tuesday of the week before I rushed her home. She's like, oh, Mom, everything's fine here in DC. We're good. I'm here with my friends. I'm here with, with my acting team, blah, 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 blah. She was just going on. So I don't think I have to come home until Monday. I'm like, hey, this is real. This is a pandemic. I'm getting you home on Saturday. No, Mom, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. The next day, she's like, I think I'm with you. I think I'll come home on Saturday. So, it was, oh my gosh. So, she brings me so much joy. She is, if there was a perfect child for a mom, she's the perfect child for me.
And you said a long time ago that she was very diligent in her work.
Yes. Yes. Never had to ask her, twice. Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? She would always come home with homework done. She helped other people do their homework. She helped other kids in the cast when they were doing their little acting thing. She would help them with their dances. She's, the epitome of the triple threat. She sings, she dances, she acts. She can do a dissertation that will make you cry or make you laugh or make you think. I'm like,
she's her mama.
I'm like, you know what? She is the best of her mom and the very best of her dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is her major?
Her major is theater arts, acting. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does she have those chords?
Yes,
Oh,
she does. She does. And it's so pure, you know? She's not, she has the vocal range that I have. She has, oh yeah, oh yeah. Because, you know, her dad and I, we sing. So she has it on both. Yes. Oh yeah, Tim can sing. So she has it on both sides. And then, but she has this purity of her age, you know, the purity of this present age, not tainted by a whole bunch of stuff. So when it comes out, it's, no, and I'm not just saying that because I'm her mom. I'll send you a video of her singing one of Adele's songs. Girl, it's gonna make you cry. But anyway, so that being Taylor's mom is.
I need to hear a mother-daughter duet or something. I need to hear a
Well,
mother-daughter duet.
Can you text her and say that?
I would love to. I mean, now you've got everybody wanting to hear Taylor come. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Now, okay, since we're talking about songs, people are saying, can you get Yolanda to sing something? Yolanda.
Well, okay, so we'll do that later because we have a lot of information to talk about. I'm telling you, look, call.
That's right.
If you guys get this thing to how many? We need about another 1,200 people on here to get like a full song. So you call.
Oh, it will be. And you know what? The crazy thing is, it starts out with these crazy numbers, and when it actually converts into an IG or IGTV or whatever,
yes,
it shows the thousands. So guys,
yes,
tell your friends to come on. Tell your friends to come on in here so we can get Yolanda Adams singing something. Because, you know, I'm going to jump over Pew before it's over with.
Don't do that. But, you know,
So, Yolanda,
the other thing that brings me joy is knowing that all of us are learning more about ourselves in this present moment. We're learning what we are capable of.
Finding myself in Rona. Finding myself in Rona.
Yes.
So,
yes.
What have you found about yourself?
Oh my gosh. Well, the first thing is that I like myself. Because, you know, a lot of people don't like themselves. And
True.
I can be isolated and productive at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people think that isolation means loneliness, and it does not. Isolation is one of the greatest. There you go. It's a stream for creativity. Think about, you know, you and I are believers. Think about how many times Jesus went away from the crowds, away from the disciples, away. So isolation, somebody better write that down. Isolation is the birthplace of everything. It's the birthplace of innovation. It's the birthplace of invention. It's the birthplace of, you know, finding out who you are, regeneration and renewal. So don't look at it as, oh my God, I'm so lonely. I have so many single friends who are saying the same thing. It's so lonely here. Why? You should be your best friend right now. You should wake up and have coffee with your best friend every morning.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, and there, I've shared this a couple times. There were a couple days that I woke up, opened my eyes, and I was in a panic. And I said, I can't do that. And I had some bad dreams, and my kids were feeling that. And I said, y'all, we got to change this. We do the dumbest, cutest things. You know, we have some bread ends now that got hard. And I said, let's go feed the birds, making moments and doing creative things. This is a time for creativity, writing books or figuring out who you are. Get some yarn and crochet, learn how to. There's so many YouTube things that teaches you, you know, how-tos of how to do things. And you need to find out who you are, because we have been, you know, I just wonder sometimes, did God put this here to pause us? What is the lesson we need to learn? you know, in the midst of this, beyond being safe. But then, what is the lesson that we should learn? I think, do you think like that sometimes in the midst of this?
I think that the lesson we should learn is that we are all connected, whether we want to believe it or not. The one thing that this COVID-19 has shown us is that whether it starts in China, Australia, wherever it starts, it trickles into our own existence. We know people, you and I know people who have passed on from this who never went out of the country. Remember when it was when they were saying that it is, you know, it's an Eastern, it has its origins in Asia. It has its origins in here. China, it has its origins. Don't nobody know where it has its origins. As you know, you have these conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Child, y'all cut it out. Let's figure out how we're going to deal with life right now. So that's one of the first things that it shows us, that we are definitely connected. And the other thing that it shows us is that we can be, we have ingenuity that we haven't even tapped into. So, you know, you think about it. You started writing, you know, another book in the midst of all of this. I started writing songs at the beginning, and the songs that I started writing in the beginning have now developed into more of a conscious way of looking at everything around me. How am I affecting people around me? Not infecting, but how am I affecting them? Am I the, you know, the happiness or the smile or the joy that they look forward to seeing? Am I the blessing in their lives that they can say, you know what, Yolanda blessed me just by sending me a text, asking me, am I okay? You know, those kinds of things. So we learn those things too. And then we also learn, and I don't want anybody getting confused about this, because, you know, people always say, well, where is God? Where is God? God's right there. He's right with you. He's right in you. We try so hard to make God this monster on a mountain when he's actually the peace in your heart. God is not up there somewhere trying to figure out how he's going to help us through COVID. God is right in here. And when you start viewing God as a part of you, I'm not saying you're God. I'm saying that God is in you doing the work. That's what the word says. So if you view God as on the inside as opposed to up there, then you look at yourself differently. You find ways of, okay, now what would I do in this situation, that situation? Well, I found myself in this situation. How do we do this? So I always ask God for strategy.
Strategy, discernment, and peace.
There you go. There you go.
And I want to say hello to Fred Hammond, your brother who's on. I want to also say hello to Brian Courtney Wilson, who's on. Let me tell you something. Those are some singing brothers.
Yes.
Singing brothers. Singing. For those of you who don't know, I love the Lord. I grew up in the church. And you cannot sit and be around these spaces and places and not look at the issue of the least of these. I mean, again, this is what I'm serious. You cannot sit and be in the presence of presidents, people who run the world almost, and not look at how this affects people. This is about people. This is not about us. Yes. And it is just, this is a platform for us to all come together, because we're all in this together.
Yes, we are.
Right. It's not, oh, Yolanda's all this, April's all that, or Fred Hammond or Brian, you know, they're all that. They don't have to be, oh yeah, because Brian even told us last week he's in the house, you know, with his family. And, you know, he even said he was upset for a minute, but he got over it. We have to work through this. We're all in this together.
Oh yeah.
So, and together is something. It is the isolation, but yet togetherness. It's a funny thing. It's like I'm finding myself reaching out to girlfriends. I'm like, y'all, the grades are coming in, but I'm okay.
Yes.
And you know, I said, you know what? I'm thankful that I can see them.
Yes.
Because it could be. Could have been
Yes.
something else.
But think about it. Aren't you thankful for FaceTime?
I'm thankful for Steve Jobs, because if it wasn't for him, we would not be here right now.
Exactly.
And but I'm so thankful. And you know, and I broke out, I sent my girlfriends, I woke up one morning, I said, Lord, I had thankfulness on my tongue. And I said, I see the gray. I said, okay. I said, and you know, to be honest to God, some of us right now look like Celie from The Color Purple. And to be honest with you, I'm serious. But I said, Lord, I'm telling you, I do. Trust me and trust and believe. I said, but Lord, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I did a video showing my friends. I said, the gray is here. You see it. You see all of this. I said, but I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I said, and I started talking about, and I'm getting a little emotional, the song Thank You, Lord by Walter Hawkins. And I started singing that tragedies are commonplace. I just broke down and cried. It could have been me outdoors with no food, no clothes, one in a number, you know, with a tragic end. But you know, but he saw fit not to let these things be. So with a grateful heart, we're isolated, but we're together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, too. You know, when you're grateful, you open the door for more. When you're thankful, you open the door for more. And I am just so thankful that we have information that we can give to people to let them know, hey, no, we're not drinking bleach. We're not using disinfectant in our bodies. We're even being careful when we clean our houses. Don't let, you know, because your skin is one of your biggest organs. It is the biggest organ that you have. So whatever you do to your skin, you're doing to your entire body. And
that's true.
And I think that even in this place where we are with folks saying, okay, like you said, did it start in a lab? Did somebody create this? Are they trying to get rid of Black people? Are they trying to get rid of Asian people? Are they trying to get rid of all people of color, blah, blah, blah? Well, it would be a real sad world if you tried to do that, you know, because you can't get rid of what you didn't create.
I'm thinking back a couple of years ago when you and I both stood outside the Oval Office when President Obama was still president. And I think it was Tom Joyner there and everyone, he said, guys, come on into the Oval. And you and I kind of stood there like, you know, we've been here. We don't have, and I said, yeah. And everybody was all excited. And I think about those times. I think about that time. I think about what it used to look like. Yeah. And we've mentioned the Lysol thing a lot. What do you say, someone in ministry, to help people heal? Because this is a hurting time. Yeah. Power means service. The oath of office is serious. You take an oath as president to protect and serve. What do you say to people who are still hurting and just can't get over every day it's something new? Yeah.
Well, the first thing is breathe. Breathe and be thankful for that breath, because somebody's on a ventilator somewhere that really wishes that they could breathe in, breathe out, you know. Then thank God for your surroundings. And I know it seems really, really like elementary or fundamental, but, you know, think about where you are. And then those of us who are, you know, avid readers and, you know, voracious readers, make sure that you are paying attention to what is not being said. Because you and
read between the lines.
You and I both know as journalists, I'm listening to what is being said, but I'm more interested in why this isn't being said.
Right.
And why people are all of a sudden not present at certain things. So I watch all the press conferences. I watch all of the tweets and the comments and stuff like that. And
do you really? I had to pull back on some of it. It was too much.
Girl, you know that whole armor? Yes, ma'am.
Breastplate.
Yes.
And
so I have on 2 helmets and 2 breastplates when I'm reading that stuff, because it's like no one would have ever, and I've had the privilege of going to the White House and participating on both sides, you know, in a bipartisan way. You
Yeah, you
know,
have.
from Carter all the way to President Obama. Now, I've been invited uh, with this present administration, and you know, there was some reason why I could never ever go.
Wow.
There,
Okay. Well,
there was
this is news right here. I didn't know. Okay. Well,
there
I'm
was
gonna say.
always a reason why I couldn't go. And I'm like, wow, this is interesting because, you know, I look at myself because, you know, I'm a Democrat. I'm just, there's no, you know, there's no, you know, stuff about that. And folks know that I am concerned about people more. And being a business owner, they're like, well, how are you, you know, I'm like, hey, I have the blessed privilege of doing what I do, live what I live, create what I create, but I am more concerned about the welfare of people than I am about a dime. Because as long as I'm breathing, I can make a dime.
So let's talk these two things. Church.
Yes.
And the churches now. Churches are hurting. And then let's
Yes.
go into small business. I'm a small business owner as well.
Yes. Yes.
And people don't understand. Oh, well, I thought you're in news. You always have to, and this is something for those of you who are not thinking this, creativity in these moments.
Yes.
There are things that you could do that can create a new wealth stream to help in times like this. And you always have to think about building off of something else. Yes. Let's talk about these churches, our houses of worship that are hurting. How can we help them, Yolanda? How can, you know, we are watching them. Many of us are watching our pastor and other pastors. We're kind of church hopping on Sundays or even on Bible study time. But how can we help our churches of worship and those that are around us as well?
Well, the first thing is don't stop giving. That's the first thing. We cannot, just because we're in this situation, even if, you know, because I'm an avid tither and I'm an avid giver. Even if you're not making the income that you would have, give something. Because the one thing that, you know, growing up in the church, our leaders have more on them than a whole lot of people even know. They're burying people. They are, you know, they used to marry people. Because, you know, now we can't do all of that. There's so much you can do and can't do. And then they're counseling folks. They're studying so that they can give you the right word in this season. They're doing all of this. And so the last thing that they need is to worry about how, you know, light bill at the church, or if something is coming in so they can cover the food, the homeless ministries and the missionary ministries and all of those outreach programs. So continue to give, definitely. Then continue to pray. This is not the time to be slack on your prayer life. As a matter of fact, your prayer life should have at least more intensity. And that intensity means that you pray specifically for your pastor, first lady, first family, all of the folks who are on the front line, you know, your family, whoever you are led to pray for them. And then start your own outreach. Hey, my pastor is doing so-and-so, especially for those people that, you know, don't go to church on Sundays. No way. Because my pastor is the kind of pastor, he doesn't like stand behind a pulpit and goes this and that. He's very calming. His spirit is very, you know, it's warm, it's gentle. And when he speaks about what's going on right now, you can feel that there's some care going across that, you know, that screen or whatever you're watching him on. So we have to be really aware of that. And then once you tell your friends who, you know, don't tune in, but they'll use their smart devices and tune in, have them ask them after the sermon or the Bible study is over, you know, y'all have your own little FaceTime group and say, hey, what did you learn tonight? What did you learn this morning from Pastor's sermon?
Mm-hmm.
And that way, you know, when we do start getting back to a semblance of normalcy, and you and I both know it will never be the old norm.
Mm-mm.
It will definitely be a new norm. We actually can have a better norm if we're building in this present time.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going back in the pews. I mean, you know, shake it, hug your neighbor's neck, shake your neighbor's hand. I think they're going to be changing that, and we're going to figure out how we're going to distance ourselves when we are allowed back. I mean, shoot, if they're telling people to go to a bowling alley, you know, church has got to open soon, or go to the hair salon, or get your nails done. I'm gonna tell you one thing: S&S is no more. I can tell you, I got a feeling that's. I'm not dipping my finger in anything that someone else dipped in. That is, no,
Not at all.
no.
Not at all. And I think what's going to happen is when we do get a chance to come back, there will be latex gloves at every at every door. Hey, put your gloves on, because
But that's real.
Fist pump your neighbor. Say amen. You know.
No, elbow. We're gonna do the Flip Wilson like we used to do. You know. I mean, no, but it's real, because a lot of these churches were told that they couldn't have service. Any groups more than 10 were fined. And here in the Baltimore area, there was one pastor who just did not have he didn't have the technology to stream.
Yeah.
And, you know, and a lot of people never caught on to it. And those who streamed, they still had problems, but they were better off than those who didn't have the technology.
And that's one of the things too with education. We keep telling folks, oh, you can have online classes, you can do this, you can do that. What about those kids who don't have a smartphone in the house? What about those kids who don't have a computer in the house? And we're expecting
there are a lot
those
of them.
Kids. It's like, oh, sorry, I got all excited. We're expecting Look, you know, I started doing this, you know, that educator in me got real mad. We're expecting these kids let's just use these analogies. We're expecting kids from, where is that? Long Beach to have the same access as kids in Beverly Hills or Bel Air. And that is so unfair. You and I both know that these parents are trying to keep these kids fed. So if you give, as a teacher, and I'm just saying, if you give an F to a kid who does not have access to technology, I'm mad at you. I'm mad.
Yeah, and that is a big problem. I talked to former Education Secretary Arnie Duncan, and he said, you know, many of these public schools are trying to bring these kids online, trying to give them tablets. But there's a big concern. I was told that some of the kids, if they get tablets, the parents may take them. And if the parents take them, sometimes there are things that shouldn't be on a tablet that's on a tablet. Access to this is all about inequity in this nation. The kids who are going to independent schools get the online learning, but the kids who are in public schools, many of the kids in public schools this year is lost.
Yes.
And it's sad. And it's many of those who are in poverty, many of those who are underemployed, meaning they may have a bunch of jobs, but they don't make enough to feed the family. It's just, my heart breaks during this time. But let's talk about something else. You know, you're a businesswoman. You have got a beautiful line of bags, handbags.
Yes.
If you haven't seen them, you know, we may not be going to church right now, but they're nice church pocketbooks, going out, hanging out with friends. If I want to grab some crabs when it's safe, take a little cute pocketbook. What's the name of the line, Yolanda?
YA Handbags. And they can go to YolandaAdamsLive.com and hit YA Handbags. It'll take you right there. A one-stop shop place.
And you not only have handbags, but you are an entity unto yourself as well. Beyond singing, you have other projects.
Yes.
You are a small business,
like
myself. I'm a reporter, but beyond that, I am now into real estate. Beyond that, I am now doing books, speaking. I employ people as well. And it's tough. We have not gotten the lion's share. We have not gotten the share that we're supposed to get in this effort to help small businesses. Yolanda, did you get your money?
Well, here's the thing. When the Lakers, Shake Shack, Ruth's Chris, and all of these huge entities with
Potbelly?
more than 500 employees start taking the lion's share of the money, you and I both know that even in this second stimulus that was supposed to start yesterday, it's not enough, because all of the friends of the administration are getting they're getting the lion's share of everything. And then you and I, we're looking for it to come our way. And we're telling our employees, oh yeah, it'll be next week. And what do you do after that? So we're going into our own savings to make sure that people are okay. I know I am. And, and because the one thing that I do not want is for anybody to say that they went hungry under my watch.
That's right. I know people who did not want to lay off employees and still paying for employees, hoping to get these SBA loans. Now, what I've been told by many congressional leaders and sources who are within this administration, go to a community bank, go to local banks, not the big major conglomerates, and go to credit unions and try to get it there. And make sure you dot every I and cross every T on these applications, and go and be seen and be present, and make sure you have a relationship. Start forming a relationship, because next time they will look at you possibly. And this is what they don't tell us at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, not at all. And I had to tell my accountant, because you and I, we get a chance to be on different Zooms and different conference calls. And I told my accountant, I said, hey, listen, they're saying that we need to apply right now. He said, no, they said April 10th. I'm like, hey, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. I've been on
wisdom and discernment. That's right.
Yes. And so, he had to apologize, because it's like, well, I didn't realize. I'm like, when I tell you something, just trust me. I know numbers are your thing, but information is my thing. Right. When I get the information, I immediately let you know, and so I was sending out before, in March, I was sending out all of this stuff about the CARES Act. And folks were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was available. I was sending it to all my friends who are especially in the music business. Because listen, if we're not on a stage, unless we are getting royalties, thank God I get royalties from previous works. But if you're not on a stage, especially for those people who do this on a weekly, daily basis, you're not getting that income that could sustain you and maybe 25 other people. That, that's the norm for you. So we're like almost 8 weeks out of none of this. So these monies are very, very important to all of us. So I'm with you. I had the president of one of our local banks on the morning show, and she was saying, hey, listen, we're just as mad as you guys when we didn't get the money that was promised to us. So it went to, your JP Morgans, and it went to your Wells, and it went to all of these other places. So they're fighting the same fight that we are. Unfortunately, what do you do? But, that's where prayer comes in. It's like, Lord, you got to show us how to really do this. And then, like you said, God gives you the information. Hey, go to this place, go to that place, dot every I, cross every T, and, all of that kind of stuff, because it is just so overwhelming.
That's right.
To know that even, and you and I, we see people that are like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just so much that we can do, because we'll exhaust our kids' inheritance if we keep, because we're softies.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's very, very important to me as well is how we treat our homeless right now. Because
that's true.
If we're treating our homeless like second-class citizens, what happens if the homeless population gets it? And, you just happen to give some money to a person on the corner. And I'm not saying don't give it to them, but how are we stopping that spread? It's just, whoa. It's a lot.
It's a situation that continues to tumble. And someone, a friend of mine, I call her my twin, Trudy, who is over at NAN, National Action Network,
Yeah.
she's watching.
Hey,
And
Trudy.
she said Facebook is offering $100 million in grant money, guys.
Good, good, good.
So she just gave us that information. And someone also said the Lakers gave their money back, and so did
Good.
Shake Shack. So that's a good thing. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, people still aren't getting their money.
And see,
And
I'm with you. And here's the problem with that. I applaud the Lakers. I applaud Shake Shack. But here's the problem. It's a 2-week process to give the money back. And some of these small business owners don't have 2 weeks.
that's right. Not even several hours.
Not even several hours. I mean, people are literally crying on the phone, talking about where, what are we going to do? They promised this, they promised that. And, now it's gone. So if you had, let's look at the amount of money that the Lakers had, Shake Shack, and thank you all for, for that information. Let's say that's between all of them that we know of, it's about $100 million. So
some of them got more than the allotted that they were supposed to get. So,
and can you imagine how much $100 million can bless? Let's just say 100,000 business owners.
So that's it. I got you. And Trudy just came back, said, go to Facebook Small Business Grants Program. If you want a grant, if you are a small business, go to Facebook Small Business Grants Programs. Trudy is a very trusted friend and good source. So, and we appreciate her being on here offering that. This is just, these are humbling times.
Mm-hmm.
And we are talking because we are all in this together. And what we're saying, I know you guys are feeling as well. We're just in the amen quarter. We're just preaching to the choir without the physical building of the church. But we just want you guys to know that it's okay to feel during this. It's okay to create. It's okay to cry. It's okay to wonder why.
Yeah.
It's okay because we have never seen this, and prayerfully we will never see this again. But what happens is, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
And we and this isn't over by any stretch, guys.
No, not at all.
Right. We are in now hurricane season. FEMA is stretched already. God forbid a catastrophe happen. They can't handle it because now there's a bidding war for ventilators, masks, and gowns, whereas FEMA is supposed to be the organization that disseminates this stuff, that gives this stuff out. November is also coming.
Yes.
We need you guys to either write it in or go to the polls. Be smart about it. This is a pivotal time. Your life depends on this. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Yolanda just said what her party affiliation is.
Right.
And I'm not going to tell you to vote for, but I'm going to tell you to vote.
Yes, please. And even being who I am, I'm like, I want you to vote your conscience. What has served you these last 4 years? If whatever has served you, vote for that. But we are just giving the information. An informed voter is more important than a haphazard voter. And I just believe that when we start moving statistics around and start putting things together, putting everything into this, I guess, this gumbo pot, what has really happened? We have seen how folks have been called out of names. We've seen how folks have been, ostracized and criticized, and oh gosh, there's just so many words we could use right there. And so it is obvious that your administration, your Congress people have to care about people. So if you have seen that it's been the opposite, your duty is to make sure that you get people in those offices that care about people, not just the status of being called a person in government, not just, the power player, whatever. No, you really care about the disparities that are happening in our society. You do care about the poor. You do care about the homeless, because these are things as believers that we're supposed to be helping tackle. And if we have the idea that our vote doesn't matter, it is really a shame, because it definitely does.
I'm going to say this, and I know people are going to be upset with me, but I grew up in church. I love the Lord, and I profess the mighty, unmatched name of Jesus the Christ.
Exactly.
But I'm going to say this too. I look to the book of Proverbs a lot. Wisdom, discernment.
Yep.
Stay away from fools.
Yes.
I want you guys to know, because we got a lot of saints up in here. I don't want you guys to be so heavenly good, you're not so earthly good.
Well, everything has changed now, because now we're all on even platform. So you can't use the building to hide behind, the comfort of the building. Oh, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm this. We're all in this together. We are all at our houses, watching the world move, and we're watching people do things that are just really not humane to other humans. So you can't say, oh, I was at Bible study, I didn't see that. Oh, I was at so-and-so, I didn't see it. No, you saw it and you heard it. And now you're trying to act like you can't make a difference. It is up to you to make a difference with this.
Don't turn your head. And I'm not saying to vote for or vote
against. Right.
But don't turn your head when you hear someone and you know good and well it wasn't sarcasm. When someone says drink disinfectant and just disinfected, and then you see everyone wearing masks at the Mayo Clinic, and then you go in there in a coronavirus infected ward without it. We got to use critical thinking right now. Yeah. Stakes are way too high.
Yeah, because I think about my daughter with everything that I do. Am I leaving her a legacy of beauty, love, peace, community? Am I doing that? And so this is how I view my leaders. I want to know that you care about the least of these.
That's right.
I want to know that you care about things that, even though you did not grow up in poverty, I didn't grow up in poverty, but I do have a heart for people who do.
I have cousins. I think we got cousins in poverty. We got cousins in jail. We got cousins doing well. We got cousins who so.
Exactly.
Yolanda said something so important. She said, I am my sister's keeper. No, I am my sister. I am my brother's keeper. No, I am my brother. And that's the way we got to think about it. Now, Yolanda, I'm telling you, these people getting on my nerves. We got 7 minutes.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I am really grateful to all of it. Hey, I'm grateful to all of you who joined us. April and I have to do this again because, me and April, we just good girlfriends. We can talk on and
on. I love it. Come back anytime, Yolanda.
And we're real passionate when it comes to, hurting people. I've never liked for anybody to hurt anybody, especially.
In this water.
Yeah.
I gave her cheers in this water.
But, we've always been like that. And so it's, our passion gets the best of us. But let me see, we can't do in the midst of it all, because that'll take me in, and you all will just be seeing my books.
I'm gonna be over there.
Y'all just be seeing my books behind me. Y'all wouldn't hear nothing.
The battle is not yours.
I can't sing that one. Well, okay, yeah, I can sing. Should I sing that? Yes, I should sing that one. There's no pain Jesus can't feel, no hurt that he cannot heal. All things work according to the Master's purpose and his holy will. No matter what you're going through, remember God only wants a chance to use you, for the battle is not yours, It belongs to the Lord. It's the Lord's. It's the Lord's. Hold your head up high. Don't you cry. It's the Lord's. It's the Lord's. Yeah, yeah, yes, it's the Lord's. No matter what you are going through, remember God only wants to use you. No matter what you're going through, remember God is able and he'll use you. Yes, he will. For the battle is not yours. It's the Lord's. There you go. Don't do it. Don't you do it.
Girl, I'm like, what do you do? What do you do? You just, let me tell you something. You can sing the phone book. But you know what? Let me say this to you. I have seen you in spaces and places. I've seen you sing for presidents. You are anointed for a time such as this.
Thank you.
You have been anointed. And I'm going to tell you something. I love me some John Legend. But one of the nights I thought I was going to lose my mind was when you and Common sang Glory.
Yes.
When Obama, you put some kind of, I was like, that's your, I don't know what you did.
Well, here's the thing about glory. When glory is not just something, oh, glory. When I sing about glory, I think of the gloriousness of God. I think of the all-encompassing, all-knowing, all-seeing power of God. And when I started singing that song, something just hit me that, no, you're not just singing about the glory road of Selma. You're singing about my glory. I need you to sing about my glory so all of these people up in here know what the glory really is.
You held that note. I said, what? I was like, I was done. But, you know, I just encourage everyone just to watch you and just to encourage you. What do you need us to do for you before we, because time is counting down. What do you need us to do for you in this moment? Because you're coming back, sis.
Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Well, you know, I always solicit prayers of folks who love me. And I emphasize that because, you know, if you pray, if someone who does not like you prays for you, that's kind of like witchcraft. So we don't get into that.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I'm with you.
Anytime you pray against somebody, that's not prayer. That's something else. But that's a whole nother.
If you don't like me, don't touch me. We got less than 2 minutes.
Yes. But, so pray for me, pray for Taylor, and also pray that all of us, because I am a community prayer person, that all of us who are small business owners, who are moms, who are dads, who are teachers, who are folks who are on this front line, really, really continue the fight. Because it's a fight every day to get the right information to people so that they live a great life, even in this present moment.
Well, I don't know what inspires you to write your songs, and I know it's the Lord. Yes. You are blessed. You're anointed. I want to have you back. Guys, thank you for joining in. Yolanda Adams, the great Yolanda Adams. I got to get ready to go over to, as soon as I get off. Go ahead. As soon as I get off with you, I have to do something with the NAACP with Amy Klobuchar, Keisha Lance Bottoms, Gresham Whitmer, and Andrew Cuomo, and our friend Wendell Pierce. Yes. And I want you guys, if you want to dial in to listen to this, call 866-757-0756. I'm all upset with Yolanda right now. I'm ready to jump over Q, and I got to do some more work. But Yolanda, thank you, my sister. You blessed my heart. You blessed everyone tonight. You are amazing. You're a businesswoman. You're a singer. You are a child of God. You are a global citizen concerned about this world. And she is a radio host.
Yes, I am.
Talk show host.
Morning show.
Yes, the morning show. So tune in. Yes. Guys, I don't know what to say. God is good in the
Yeah.
midst of it all. That's my song. So
I love you and thank you for all you do for us. And keep us, you know, we always keep you in prayer.
thank
So
you.
keep us informed because we trust you.
I trust you. Love you.